channel. I'm Alexis, aka the Sloth Reader, and today I'm here to talk about TBR jars. So basically, I have several videos coming up in the next couple of months where I'm going to be dealing with my TBR jar, so I figured I would make just one video where I explain everything so that I don't have to do that in each video. I can just be like, link in the description below. So, I'm here to talk to you guys about my TBR jar. Just because, like, when I decided to make one of these, I kind of had something very specific in mind, which is I don't think necessarily like the typical TBR jar usage, so I figured I would just explain it to everybody. So my main reason for wanting one of these was so that I could have a visual, at-a-glance representation of how many books on my TBR I have. I wanted just to be able to look quickly and be like, oh, compared to my red TBR, I could just quick glance be like, okay, I have, you know, this many more books by comparison. And I wanted a system where I could easily, you know, when I get more books, add to them as I read, remove books from one jar into the other to kind of keep a really accurate representation. So that was kind of why I wanted to get one. I'm not necessarily going to be making, you know, a TBR jar pick every month where I'm like, oh, time to pick in this, and then I'm gonna add that to my TBR. I don't feasibly see that system necessarily working for me, so I'm not even gonna try to do that, to be honest. But I do have different ideas in mind for the upcoming future where I will use my TBR jar. Sometime in April, I'm gonna do a video for my May TBR where I will choose a couple and then I'll do a try a chapter tag and find that way which book would be interesting to add into my May TBR. That's a video I have coming up in a week or so. So all of that in mind, that's kind of what I wanted my TBR jar for, was so I could, you know, have a system where I could accurately keep tabs visually on what's read and hasn't been read. And I will completely be honest that when I read a book and I can move it into my red bucket, it's super satisfying and I like it. I'm glad I went with it, so there you go. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to go through what the different colors and stuff mean so that I don't have to do it in every upcoming video. So I did buy these tabs at Target. These pails too, both of these are from, they were $3 at Target in the Target dollar section. I think you're supposed to use them for plants, but whatever. Can't tell me how to spend my money, so yeah, so I figured I would just tell you guys what the different tabs mean. So I do have the pink tabs in here. Pink tabs are very specifically for science fiction, fantasy, magical realism, urban fantasy, anything with a strong fantastical or science fiction element to it does have pink on it. I will say I did run out of tabs at the end of this, so I had to start using yellow tabs for some of the fantasy. But 90% of what's in here is accurate to the color used. I just had to improvise at the end because I ran out of pink tabs, so yeah. Blue tabs are for contemporaries, historical fiction, and thrillers. And all of the blue tabs I think do fall in that category. So the yellow tabs are for literary fiction and non-fiction for the most part. Again, I did run out of pink tabs towards the end, so I had to start using yellow tabs. I also found these little orange tabs that I used, so if there are any orange in here, they're also fantasy because your girl's got a lot of fantasy. So those are what they all mean. I just bought a 3-pack of tabs at Target and used those. So yeah, so, and I have to admit when I first started doing this, I was expecting this to be a lot more varied than it is. I mean, this one is almost filled up. There's very little room at the top, but this one is like 3/4 of the way filled, which is a lot closer than I thought it would be, to be honest. I thought I had much more unread books than I did read books, but no, actually, pretty even. All of the tabs I do have are for my physical books. In the future, I do have some little jars I think I'll be using to do the Kindles, the unread Kindle books I have, but I haven't done that yet. Alrighty guys, so that is just my really quick update to what my TBR jar is, what I'm going to use it for, you know, when you'll be seeing it in future videos, just come back here to get the rules because I'm not going to say it 100 times over and over again. If you guys use a TBR jar, I would love to know how you know, code it, how you use it, and all those things. It's really interesting to me. I really like watching when people use TBR jars. If you like what I do, I upload videos on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and I'll see you guys soon with another one. Bye!